All right. So our topic today, we're talking about relationships, keeping our faith and our boundaries while we center Christ with everybody that we interact with.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, what I wanted to ask is, when you hear relationship, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I know when I first when we first came around to you guys asking about the podcast, I said it was gonna be about relationships. And you told me all this short, but you like that face right there. That's the face he gave me. That's the face he gave me. They didn't say anything, but I could tell they were thinking about something specific. But today's not just about relationships with, significant others. It can be about friends and family.
Mm.
So overall, in that sense, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you say relationships?
Honestly, I just think of like a spouse. But as you said, it means it's a broad term. So there's like a lot that falls under it. But I do think of spouse. That's like the first thing that comes to my mind.
That's
And
natural.
after that, I would probably say like my closest friends, And after that, then it's anything and anything else.
Complicated.
Okay. All right. All right. Moving on.
I guess it's just connection between two or more people, It could be romantic, it could be platonic, family oriented, Just connection.
Connection.
That's tough.
That's
I
good.
like
That's
that.
good. How about you?
Um, when I think of relationship, it's also what you said, bro. Spouse. It could and it's also like your bond with someone else.
Right.
That's what I think about when it comes to relationship.
Well, okay. With that being said, well, for me, I guess I should answer this question too. For me, I put more like adjective to it. A couple things come to mind. Firstly, it would be like intention
Okay.
and intentionality, because most of the time a relationship isn't really something that just happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real actual relationship is something that you put intention towards.
Right.
Intention towards. So yeah, you could pass somebody in the street, you could talk to them a couple times, but at the end of the day, you're gonna be at the back of your mind. But if you have intention with it, then it becomes a actual relationship. You're actually trying to steward this relationship with someone else,
Right.
which will lead me to the next
But just before you continue, it reminded me of when Pastor was talking about not only intention, but like your emotion. Something has to drive you to want that connect. It's in nature. We are built to connect, but your emotion has to be involved, and that has to drive you to, connect. So
That's good. That's
I
good.
don't want to steer you off of like what you had planned,
No,
but
you go
as you
ahead.
said, intentions, and then remembering that one of the topics is also boundaries. What would you do, or what would you call it when the intentions for the relationship aren't the same?
The intentions aren't the same between two people or
Yeah, like,
between.
let's say your intentions is to do one thing, but the other person's intentions to do another thing, but yet both parties want a relationship. It's just a relationship that is one is probably just not the same.
That's where that magic C word comes in, called communication. That one, people,
like
people
that.
like to preach that one all the time. So,
right.
but yeah, that's all about, you lay your intentions out on the table to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go from there. Where the relationships sort of go south is when they don't say what their intentions are. That's where you got misleading
That's true.
actions, mixed signals, etc., etc.
Exactly.
So do you
So
feel like you can have a thriving relationship with somebody without knowing their intentions?
I personally don't believe so, because
There's no way.
when if you don't know beforehand, and like you said, there's a mismatch in intention, then you could be going one way, the person could be going the other way, and it's like a rubber band. If you go in a different direction, it's gonna pop
Right.
eventually. So yeah, I don't believe so.
Just to jump on, just remember and keep in mind that if you don't place intention, they you'll be off course. Remember, unity is the key, and in order for us to have like a goal, a common goal for a relationship or whatnot, you have to have that intention. You have to lay intentions out on the line
Correct.
and be like, okay, We on the same page. So we know what to expect. We know how to get to that point. We know the solution. When a problem arises, we know how to deal with it together as a unit. Because remember, unity is key. Remember when we always go back to the beginning of the Bible where God was like, I am creating a helpmeet for you. It is not because the significance of creating a helpmeet from the rib, it's not to say, well, okay, he is not like he created someone from the head or for the foot.
Right.
It's to show equal. It's supposed to be like we're in one song, one band, creating an equal. That's hence the rib because it's right at the side of the person. So remember that. Lay intentions out. Let it be known. A lot of times in this day and age, we see where people don't speak and miscommunication is a problem in society. Lay out your intentions because people would know what to do, you know?
I don't necessarily think miscommunication is always the problem, but I do believe a lot of people do settle in the sense of, granted, they know the intentions aren't the same, but I
Right.
think an issue a lot of people have, especially in our generation, some people don't know how to be alone.
Yes.
And there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And some people just don't know how to be alone.
I like that one.
So when that comes onto the table now, you don't know how to be alone, but you know this person's intentions is, let's say, they want A, but you want B. And then because you just don't want to be alone and you don't know how to be alone, you're willing to settle for A,
Yeah.
even though that's not what you want.
And then that wears down slowly on the
Yeah.
inside as the thing goes on.
Then I believe that's where boundaries and self-respect comes into play.
Correct.
Because if it's a matter of self-respect when you're not able to it's a matter of self-respect when you're not able to properly communicate that.
Right.
And so,
Yeah.
you know,
What do you think, Terrell? You a bit quiet over there. Our fault.
Nah,
That's me.
honestly, y'all have said everything that I was thinking. I'm honestly absorbing everything,
Right.
and I do agree on what y'all said because Kyle, because you said miscommunication definitely is a thing because a lot of people do not lay out their intentions. Some people are wicked. They
Some.
some people are
crazy.
wicked. They don't want to lay out their intention because they either know that it's something that the person may not like,
Yeah.
or honestly they don't know how to. Like it's I can go down a whole list.
so would you say a person's wicked if they don't know how to properly articulate their intentions, but they go off a different, like what they're doing is showing something else and you interpret a different kind of intention from that person. Is that person still wicked?
Someone like that, no, it's not wicked. I mean, for like the people, like they know that their ways are not, are not what's the word, right, they're not pure, and they try to and they keep it from you,
Right.
and I have seen this probably on social media, and I've experienced it.
The only way you would know the difference is awareness. That's one word. Because let's just say, like how we was talking when you asked that question, a lot of times we are not aware of what's inside. And when we are driven to do another act or another intent that is contrary to that person, it's the solution. The conclusion is something's unresolved. Whereas another person, like, yeah, I want to waste this person's time. I want to, take advantage of them. That's the awareness. That's saying, I know what I want and I know it's wrong. I'll still do it anyway. So awareness is the gap, that bridge the gap between those two.
And I feel like paying attention to intention when, like, we all men here, when, like, I'm gonna talk about dealing with a significant other, because
Go ahead.
a lot of the time us men don't have that problem of we don't want to be alone, but we don't leave a situation a lot of the times when we get a little too comfortable with women. And I feel that's because the way we're wired is we're just trying to figure it out. Like we be like, all right, you don't feel the same way, you don't want the same things, but I feel like we could both figure it out. But we have to come to that place where we, all right, that's your intention. This is not what I want for myself. This is not what God wants for me. I'm up out of here. Like we got to get to that point.
We've come from different places, but we kneel before the same God. I try to make it my way, but everything wrong time. Our prayer has no border, and neither does a move of God. Lord, I need more than a breakthrough. I need your help when I call on you. In a world that's divided, our prayers unite us. When intercessors unite, heaven does not whisper, it roars back at us. This is the hour, this is the sound, this is IPS.
And I think we can put that to like other relationships as well. Cause like let me see, let me find a good example. Let's say for instance, you guys, let's see these two fine looking gentlemen in their quarterships here. Yeah, established,
Shout out the
distinguished, and
quartership
they're hanging out.
movement.
Yeah. Shout out we're they're hanging out with, you know, the usual like Nike Tech, like what they call them, the Y, yeah, the YNs. Yeah. Like and they're hanging around these guys, right? I'm not to say there's anything wrong with the clothes per se, but they're hanging around with these guys, and like I said, the intention, they that group in the Nike Techs have an intention to do. They have different values from
Right.
you, but you guys keep hanging out with each other, so then it becomes like again like the rubber band. Eventually, there's going to be a disconnect, and when that disconnect is going to run from the inside,
Now-
unless.
Sorry to cut you off, but my question to you now is, right? Why would you put yourself in a predicament to hang out with set people?
That's a great
'Cause
question.
I believe, like,
'Cause-
even not even to go back and like into relationships, but I believe like certain things are inevitable. But I believe that if you don't put yourself in a position to like deal with that or for that to come up, then it's perfectly fine. And granted, I
Yeah.
understand sometimes you can't avoid certain things, but you can always have the choice to like free will is a thing. You always have the choice to leave. You always have the choice to say something. So I personally don't believe that if you put yourself in a predicament or in that situation, for example, you don't like drugs, you don't like to sell drugs, but you stay hanging out with drug dealers and stuff like that. Why would you continue to put yourself in an environment that you don't like?
I 100%
So
agree with that.
And when that stuff like that happens, deep down you like the environment.
Yeah.
And you're saying out loud that you don't like drugs or that you don't want to sell them, but deep down, somewhere in your mind, either you do like them or you don't mind them.
Right.
As I said,
And
that's
both are-
settling once again. And I think that's a big issue. I'm gonna keep saying it probably a couple times again. Settling is a big issue that we have in our
Right.
Just that
generation because
complacency.
we can always say no, and free will is a thing.
Correct.
There's no need for us to settle.
And that's where lack of boundary comes in. You see, a lot of times we don't know what boundary, we don't know how to truly, exert that boundary. And that goes to self-love, lack of self-love.
Right.
You see, a lot of us in this day and age, especially the youth, they want to fit in. They want to be around certain crowd. And because they don't have that control, because control is another thing, this part of boundary. That mindset where, hey, I don't need to be involved in everything, and they overextend themselves to places that they don't belong, that they know they don't fit in. They ignore the signs and they still go. That's a problem in this generation, especially just the lack of self-love
And control.
and control.
So I think you guys are both right in ways, because it's that weird paradox between, free will and the essence of nature and nurture. That's a real big can of worms that we can go into. But yeah, that's so in a way both of you guys are correct, because you don't have to put yourself in those situations. There are outside influences, but at the same time, we're still people with a choice. We are intelligent beings at the end of the day. We can make that decision and use critical thinking and discernment. So yeah, everything. Before I go to my next point, anybody else?
Control the
so
controllable.
control the
I
controllable.
mean, I feel like
and let God control the rest.
what Elijah said was really powerful about having that deep down comfort with something you're not really okay with. Because
Yeah.
a lot of the time, I'm gonna say us as men,
Right.
we sit in a lot of uncomfortable relationships. Like I know my mans, I grew up with them. They drug dealers. It was hard for me not to hang out with them, not want to chill with them.
Not the conditions.
But I had to know that, all right, I'm gonna be a pro basketball player one day. I'm trying to finish school. If I'm around them at the wrong time, then that's my life. Like that
Right.
goes the same thing for women. Like the wrong woman, the wrong person around you in general can ruin that. And sometimes that relationship word doesn't have to be, all right, I'm never gonna talk to you again, you're done. But it's a distance that you have to have because of the path you are on.
One thing I will say though, I personally believe a lot of times, sometimes you just have to say that's it and that's done. Like I don't feel like some situations you could just distance yourself from, because at the end of the day, distance is a measurement and that can change, right? So because of that, if you cut it off completely, I'm not saying it can't come back, right? But cut it off completely. And if it was meant to be, I believe if things were meant to be, they'll come back.
Correct.
But to say I'm gonna distance myself and give it time, I'm just letting it fester. I'm not dealing with the problem head on. And I feel like we got to start doing is dealing with stuff head on. If we don't, if we uncomfortable with something, say that, because that's something I personally believe in. Like if I'm uncomfortable with something, I don't like something, or I feel a way, I'm gonna articulate that, and that's just that. And if we can't come to some type of understanding about what I just said, or like if it's just clearly just not gonna work, it's
It's not
done.
meant
There's
to
no
be.
way to sit there and not keep trying, but there's no way to sit there and keep beating around the bush.
Yeah.
You will want this and I want that, and we can't see eye to eye on that. It's not. It's like, and I think another thing is too, I think a lot of people are afraid to cut off relationships because, and then when they do, because it turns out to like, oh, now we're enemies. Just because we didn't see eye to eye to things doesn't mean we're enemies.
Yeah.
It's just we didn't see eye to eye. And this is just two different paths that we're gonna take.
Correct.
So that's why I said I disagree with you slightly on that, because sometimes it's just best to cut things off. If it was meant to be, it'll come back.
Yeah.
There's no stress.
That's where that choice comes in.
It's always safer to choose yourself in the process. Choosing yourself is a sign of self-love, and like he said, what was meant for you would come back. God has a way of bringing things back, but don't worry about, oh my gosh, I miss this person. Da 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 da. No, pick yourself in the process, because you are top priority.
That's when you really gotta pray and put things in God's hands. Because once that's over, then yeah, once that's over, that's over, and that's where you just gotta leave it with God. He has everything ready for you, anyways. So
Yeah.
that will lead me to my next point, which is when it comes to keeping your values and boundaries, like we were talking about, in terms of us connecting with God and connecting with people, what sort of like values and boundaries do we like keep in place when we're talking with like our friends and our family and such? What are like the values that come to mind when you interact with people?
I don't know if this is like, I don't know how to phrase this, but me personally, I don't say I let things slide, but like certain things you're just not gonna think of off the top of your head. Like you don't meet a friend like, oh yeah, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, so please don't do this. I'm uncomfortable with this, right? I don't like talking about this. Like, but if it comes up, I feel like that's when you're like, oh well, let me let you know, I'm not too comfortable with this. I don't like this, and so on and so forth. And then if that can't, as I said, I believe in cutting people off. Like
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
like,
Nothing wrong with that.
if it don't add up, you gotta go. It's as simple as that. Like, and I believe in getting straight to the point when it comes to things as well. So
Right.
when it comes to, as you said, with the boundaries and stuff like that, I don't think I go into like friendships or relationships in general with just like in mind what boundaries I do and do have. Like, granted, we all have our solid rules,
Yeah.
things that we just certainly just not doing. But I feel like there's like small things that happen that, like for example, like you can have like, let's say you have your own place and then you got like one big thing I'm big on it. When I go somewhere, I always wipe my feet, right? And if I'm going into somebody's house, like when I'm stepping inside, I always ask where I could put my shoes on before. I don't step past the door without asking where I can put my shoes on, right? That's a pet peeve for me as well. So like if you come into my house and like I gotta keep telling you, yo, take off your shoes right there, wipe your feet. It was just raining. You just walked in the mud,
Right, in the
wipe
mud.
your feet.
Right.
You know, you get like, and I'm gonna use an actual real example. I had a friend who used to come over and we used to hang out, cool, no problem. And the issue was you're walking into my room, you're walking into my house with your shoes from outside.
That's
Crazy.
And then the craziest part about it, like, cause like my room is decently sized. Like, so like when your friends come over, you know, sometimes they sit on your bed or whatever. You're sitting on my bed with clothes from outside. You was just on the J train. I'm not trying to be a judgy person here. You was on the J train. And MTA alone, it don't even got to be the J train specific, but
Right.
the train alone, not the
the
it's
cleanliness.
dirty. I'm not even gonna
It's
say
positive. Yeah, that's why.
it's dirty. So it's like,
Crazy.
now I feel like that's disrespectful. And as I said, I'm not gonna keep telling you the same things over and over again. Because at the end of the day, and you get to an age where it's like, how many times do I have to repeat myself for you to listen? So I blocked the person, I blocked them on everything. I'm like, I'm not like, yeah, there was some other. Granted, that was not the main reason, but there was some other small things. It was just like,
Right.
I can't take disrespect. That's one thing I can't
Well, I
take.
assume
as well.
if you can't get that small thing right, then there's probably other things going on. Yeah.
Yeah, because when it comes to the small things, you can't get the small things correct, as you said. When it comes to the bigger things, you're gonna just brush over it the same way. And I'm not about to sit here and deal with that. We nip it at the butt here. Like I'm not dealing with anything I don't want to.
Hey,
Because
respect.
granted, if you don't want to deal with something that I'm doing, I feel like you have the right to say it as well. None of us have any right to deal with things we don't want to deal with. And if I don't want to deal with something, by all means, I'm not dealing with it. There's no point.
And I feel like that's very powerful because I tell people I'm around all the time, this my brother since we was like this tall. So we have the same morals. If I don't like something and I tell you about it and we disagree and it's like, all right, this is a principle I have and you not jacking it, I will cut you off. But I feel like it goes the same way. Like if it's me and you don't, and I don't share that principle and it's a problem, cut me off. Like stop talking to me. Like,
It's a respectable thing. Like I could respect that. Cause sometimes it'd be like it clashes, cause sometimes something that you comfortable with and they're uncomfortable with is something like you both probably not willing to trade. And if that's the case, if you
exactly.
can't come to that compromise, it wasn't meant to be. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Fair
word.
enough.
I say a boundary for myself. Like I tell all my mans, like I don't like when people smoke around me. You could do your smoking stuff. You could do
Right.
that like away. But I don't like that. Like I don't like the smell. I don't like the burning. I don't like none of that. But I don't judge nobody for doing that.
No.
But I tell people off the back, like, yo, if you gonna smoke, like tell me I'm gonna walk away or just walk away from me.
Right.
But I had a friend one time, they was like, oh, it's not that serious, and started puffing around me. I was like, yo, gang, like, that's crazy to me. And
Right.
he ain't feel that. So to this day, we just don't talk. And I just feel like that level of disrespect or just like, because I feel like there's a lot that goes into doing something that disrespects you. Like you have to literally take that blunt, light on fire, put it in your mouth, inhale and exhale. All them steps while I'm telling you like, yo, I do not like this. Like that's not crazy. Like
I'm not trying to go tit for tat with you, but that just reminded me as well. Like I have a friend, he smokes, right? Cool, no problem. That's your business. As you said, I'm not judging you for that. But what it was is you come into my, and like my friends, they know, and some of them learned the hard way. Cause like, if I tell you something, I'm not going to keep repeating myself.
Right.
And so when it comes to my friends, I'm not gonna lie, I be bugging sometimes. Cause like what it was, I told you what it was, and now you can't find your blunt. Now it's in the garbage.
Hey, fair enough. Hey.
But it's like I felt disrespected because I told you, because like you didn't have to come here and spark that up.
Exactly.
And I told you
Right.
about yourself, and so now you upset because now you ain't got.
Hey, it's
Bro, that was-
consequences.
That was
That
$40,
$40,
bro. Quite frankly, I
Down the
don't
drain
care
now.
how much it was. Like at the end of the day, I told you something, right?
If the cost was that important, you wouldn't have
That's
put yourself in that
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. And so I bring that up because I had a friend, right? And he knows how it is because he done lost 2 blunts by me. So he knows how it is.
He's a
So he
serious
knows
fellow,
about that.
folks.
Yeah.
So he's stubborn headed.
Let me tell you what this fool went and did, right? We driving, we was going somewhere. I'm like, I look in the back seat. This brother got his tray out and he's rolling up. And so I park. I stop, put hazards on. I'm like, are you serious right now? And he was like, yo, bro, I'm not smoking. I said, are you serious right now?
Right.
Like, and that was like a different level of disrespect. He's like, yo, bro. I'm like, yo, bro, nothing. If I have to get out this car, I promise you, everything is going out the window. I'm like, that's crazy. And my friend made a joke. He was next to me in the passenger seat. He was like, I'm not gonna lie, big ups to you for putting your foot down. I was like, it's not a matter of putting my foot down. It's one thing, okay, you smoking outside next to my car, cool. Move. Right?
Yeah.
It's another thing to roll up in my vehicle. That stuff leaves an odor. That stuff, you know what I'm saying? It stays. And then I think all my friends have enough common sense. But it would be a whole next thing to smoke in my vehicle because respectfully,
And he didn't even ask. That's the
that was the crazy part about it. Like you just like got
he's like,
you like you done lost two blunts
step by step,
bro. I'm telling you,
pull the tray out, everything.
Like
what?
That's the disrespect I be talking about.
I look back and he's having a field day,
Taking his time too and
Nah, you
everything.
just
That's
reached me to me.
crazy.
I'm sorry. That just really reached me.
Nah.
Like it was just like mad disrespectful, and I was like, I promise you. And then and he didn't like believe me at first. I had all the windows down, and I love the fact that you could lock your windows. I said, I promise you right now, we about to hit the belt. We didn't need to go in the Belt Parkway. We gonna hit the Belt Parkway, and I don't know if like allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
Late at night, the Belt Parkway,
do
the
be a
speed
little-
limit is not 65. That's all I'm gonna say.
right.
The speed limit is not 65.
Right.
And I told him, we gonna hit this Belt Parkway, and you gonna lose everything, because that's disrespectful. Because I'm not like, granted, we done traveled far, so it's like I'm not gonna leave you here because you live like literally up the block from me. But you will lose everything you have right now. I promise you. And if you piss me off enough, I will leave you on the side of the highway. Find your way home. Find your
And
way
dodge
home.
cars.
Yeah, Uber's not picking you up from the side of the highway. You would have to walk that shit.
You gotta walk
With
that.
all
That's
that
a
stuff in
long
your
thing.
hands.
And that is not my problem.
All right, you guys. We're actually gonna take a little break here. Stay tuned for an interlude. We'll get right back and pick up where we left off. Add some more stuff.
Thank you so much for being a part of this incredible podcast. I think our youth did a phenomenal job. I hope you're enjoying it. And I also want to take this opportunity to give you a personal invitation to the International Prayer Summit. It's going down in January, from January 16th through the 18th in 2026. It's going to be an incredible experience. We're going to teach you how to live life without limits. Our theme is borderless. Are you?
All right, welcome back, y'all. We're about to wrap this up. I'm gonna hop right into it. So we were talking before about our values and our boundaries and such, but now I want to switch it and ask you guys, with all that we said beforehand, do you think that what we are dealing with now, the relationships we have, and the ones are back then are the same as they what God intended, or
Not at all.
not at all?
Like we can even keep it mad simple. There's times it's about the time that you are living in. Like there was times in the Bible where it was okay to have 100 wives.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not what God wants for
Shout out Solomon.
Shout out to my man's like yo,
That's
Shout out
crazy.
Solomon, bro.
he's being great, but it was just the time that you're born in is the kind of the relationships change and what are needed for you and that other person. So no, I don't think so.
Fair enough. How about you?
Your the question was
If the relationships now are like what God intended, and if they're the same as how they used to be.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I had to. It's okay. Register in my brain. No. The way relationships are nowadays, I'm not gonna lie. The expectations are a lot higher. Higher.
Well, life has gotten a
These
lot
days.
tougher.
A lot of a lot of beliefs, a lot of this and that. Like it's it's a lot. It's a lot these days, and it's hard to live up to because the expectations are so ridiculously high. Nobody even has no sympathy. Like, hey, you know what? Like what you and Ben was just talking about. Like, hey, I'm in high school, or I'm just out of high school. I don't have this yet. I don't have that yet. And there are a lot of delusional people because you'll see it all over on social media. Oh, you don't have this yet? I was at this age and I have a car. My brother in Christ, I just graduated. I didn't even what like to have that is so rare.
Yeah.
To have that is so rare, ridiculously rare.
Wow.
So it's like, but even the cost of living back then is completely different than now.
It's rough out here. I'm on
Like,
time.
oh my god.
They might pay taxes, but rent for sure.
They pay
It was like
taxes.
you got this land over here. A word?
And
No,
it's like
that's
they
true.
give you that for cows and sheep. They can have this land for
Man,
goats
We don't
and
have
sheep.
time to figure it out. It's just like you 17. I bet you guys supposed to have your Lambo.
They didn't have school either, low key. They learned their stuff from like at home, and they was mostly just tending flocks and all that. They didn't have to
My
learn
only
much.
thing is, I personally, I feel like you have no right to say anything on how somebody should be or what they should have when you have nothing. Like your expectations for me. Oh, how come you don't have this and you don't have this? Your life not even situated. You didn't do. You have nothing to your name. And I don't even want to sound disrespectful when I say that, but it's like you have nothing, and like because we're all building as we get older, we're all building and stuff. But it's like if you have nothing to your name, why are you coming to me expecting me to have everything figured out? And you don't even have anything started. Like,
Fair
Let
enough.
me ask you this about that, right? So when you talking to a person and you see she has this mindset or whatever, how does that affect y'all relationship? Or we just cutting it?
bro,
Word.
you're no good for me,
Bro, I walk away because let me tell you, in this day and age, society has like project this let me say it
Six
again,
figures.
unrealistic.
7 figures.
What's the word I'm looking for? This rule, this expectation. And honestly, bro, in this economy, I'm 26 right now, and I don't even have it all together. I'm gonna be real honest. I know I've seen a lot of people younger than me made it, and that's
I want to cut you right there. I feel like never look at somebody else's situation and compare
right.
it to your own.
That's true.
You never know what that person had to go through.
That's
to get
another
that.
thing. That's another thing. But honestly, bro, like we need to stop creating these false narratives that sublisten to society. Let me just say that. Sublisten to society what they got to offer because it's fake.
I stopped listening to society when the word "What do you bring to the table?" came.
Bro,
Yeah.
bro,
As
stop.
a man.
As a man, what do you bring to the table?
As a man, because you
When you
know,
flip the question, it's you're
bro,
all
as
right
a
at the
woman,
table.
you see when you start bringing that as a woman, you notice the answers is different. Like,
I'm just a girl. Like that
like
was
I'm
the
just a girl.
that
Yeah,
Be a
was
woman,
the
grow up. Like what?
like
that
bro,
was the comeback to
like
as a
what do you
man.
bring to your table?
I'm just a girl.
You ask a female that, bro. You know what? 9 times out of 10, sorry for being raw like this, but my private part. A lot of times, bro, people.
I cook. I clean.
Nah, you can't even say that. I'm not even trying to be
That's
funny.
crazy.
Like, and this might sound crazy. Like, I've stopped talking to a girl because and it might sound crazy because I'm gonna keep saying it sounds crazy. I stopped talking to a girl because she didn't cook. Like, and as I said, I'm gonna let me fix it, right? Or let me explain, right? The situation was because I could cook for myself, right?
Okay, good.
That's not a problem,
Right.
right? But you don't cook. You don't know how to clean properly. Like, I'm telling you, you just mop the floor. Hello, where's the broom? Did you sweep? Yeah, like you can't cook. If you
Where's
could
the
cook
broom
but
is
can't
crazy.
clean properly, all right, I
We
can
gonna
forgive
figure
that.
it out now. We gonna figure it out.
Nah.
But you
We gonna figure
can't
it
cook and you can't clean. What do you like?
Just a
I-
lack of values.
And I'm not saying that everybody needs to know how to cook, but I believe you should know how to survive on your own. If you show me you have no survival skills, like if you was given an apartment right now, a house, whatever, and was told to live by yourself, you gonna die in 2 weeks. Like, cause the house gonna be dirty. You gonna be sitting here, moles infestation, and you sitting there just breathing it in. And God forbid, like as I said, God forbid, never want to wish death on anybody, but you don't wake up.
Don't even go on
Bro.
YouTube to look at no tutorials on how to
And
do
that's what, and
certain
that's why
things.
in this day and age, I'm sorry, I'm not saying you have to be a chef. I'm not saying you have to be the best at anything and everything. But in this day and age where the internet is so easy and accessible, you have no excuse why you can't
Yes.
at least try something or you can't do some simple things.
I
You don't know how to
second
make
that.
nothing, eggs,
You don't even know how to
nothing,
boil water self. Like
nothing.
That's
what?
crazy.
I'm not
Burning
hearing
your
that.
pot
I'm
is
Like,
sorry,
crazy.
I'm not
bro,
hearing that.
like
God.
do better for yourself. That just do better, bro. Like,
I find that those are the relationships that God doesn't want us to have with certain people because, as Elijah said, it's not really about the doing it as much as the principle. Like, you want
yeah.
somebody to help you grow and add on to yourself. And if you're not bringing anything to the table, how are y'all two gonna please God together? If one person is just pouring into the other, then that person who's pouring into the other doesn't have anything left. Y'all supposed to pour into each other. It's supposed to be a mutual exchange.
Correct.
And to hop on what you said, relationships is a give and take, right?
Yes.
But if you don't have anything to give, you only taking, and vice versa. If you have nothing to take, you only giving. So
And that's where the boundary come again. You see how it
Hold
ties
on.
back to
I think
boundary.
Terrell's catching
It's
something.
a listen. We all have to know how to. It's a mutual thing. It's okay. You do this, I do this, and then remember it's a team effort. You're not doing this alone. You're not living by yourself. Remember, we have to tie into what God said when He said a helpmeet. Helpmeet, someone, because remember the purpose of Adam was to be productive in the garden. Eve's purpose is to make sure that Adam is taken to the next step. In this day and age, when we have a spouse or whatnot, the woman's purpose is to make sure that man don't lose focus, don't go off course, and to better his productivity and as a unit.
I'm young, but one thing I've realized, like early on, a woman can really make or break you. Like in the sense of that's why like sometimes the best option is really to stay single. A woman can really make or break you. She can either build you up or she can have you cry, just tear you all the way down. Right. And that's sick because then that reflects sometimes makes me feel like, damn, is she like is the woman really running my life like this? Like she got that much power. But it's like it goes back to the environment because it's like, and if certain things mean a lot to you, you're gonna go by it, right? If you with a woman and she got you at Benihana's every weekend, you in Soho spending, and you sitting there like, damn,
Mood.
I ain't got no money. Credit cards is all done up,
Wow.
and then when it all falls down, then what you have? You have nothing, and that's why like come back to make or break you. And I think another thing is too. Issue that comes about is trying to live a life that you either can't afford or you don't have just to impress somebody.
I
Like,
love that, like, cause we was talking with Josh a little bit earlier, and we touched on the differences in what a man will do and a
Right.
woman will do,
Right.
and I feel like a man is willing to sacrifice in a relationship a lot of different things. Like,
Yes.
he'll give you his last dollar, he'll do it with a smile on his face, you'll never know. But all he wants in return, he don't necessarily want that dollar back. He just want peace. He just wants a safe place for himself to be able to come to you and be like, all right, I'm a little tired today. Like, okay, babe, like, this is what it is. Cause you might not be giving him cash back, you might not be replacing the things, but you're being that peace he needs, that understanding person, that place he can go to when he doesn't feel himself. And that's also a part of what you were saying about what Eve was for Adam, helping him be productive.
Right. Just to jump on his point, apart from that, little things matter. So it may not be in financial, but just not only being the peace, but also making sure like he could just being a listening ear, just, doing something that showing gratitude. And I think that that's something that's missing these days, showing gratitude. Just show how much I appreciate all the effort, the things that you've done as a man in particular, Just gratitude. And a lot of women these days lack that.
I think what this is it's like it's trying to get like a different understanding of what it is because I feel like God has wired men differently, right? We're wired differently. Love for us is more of a respectful thing, while I feel like love for women, on the other hand, it's more of like a compassionate. I don't know. It's not the same though. I can't really.
I
Speak
think
on
it's
it.
more like how we provide it how we
exactly.
like
Okay,
show
so
it.
you
More
as
like
so
that.
yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got you. We got you.
Nice.
So yeah.
But yeah, okay. So what about like the same question, but what about like with our friends and family, like people we interact with? Because you know the Bible says like iron sharpens iron. So do you think relationships that we have with others, with like friends and stuff, is it also like what God intended, or is it different now as well?
I feel like that question could be subjective because
Yeah.
like iron is the only substance that can sharpen iron. But a lot of times it's hard to find somebody on the same path as you, the same goal, the same like walk. Because now it's not like how it was before in the times of the Bible. Like we all don't have the same occupation. We're not all doing the same thing. We're not all tending to a flock and all that. But that's why I think it's a little different now, even with platonic friendships or family members or all that.
One thing I would say is blood is not thicker than water. I would like to put heavy emphasis on that. Blood is not thicker than water. Cause like even with families, and back to what we was talking about before, boundaries. Boundaries have to be set with anybody and everybody, right? And I think what it is, and I personally like, I would give my spouse, I'd give my girl more chances than I give my friend. And the reason why I say that because as my friends, there's certain things that you should know and certain things that should be like the way it is out of respect.
And the
that goes to
covenant between like a friend and like a significant other is kind of different.
Yeah,
The
and
covenant
that's
you
the
have
same
with
thing
that
with
person.
family as well. As I said, I'd give my spouse more chances than I'd give even family because it's like there's a different level and aspect of loyalty and respect that I expect out of you as my friend or as even my family, that I feel like if you can't give that to me, then it's just disrespectful, because it's not even disrespectful. It's like you're no good to me, actually. Like I'm not saying I expect my spouse to make mistakes and stuff like that. Really and truly, I ain't say you can't make mistakes. Certain things you just know coming back from, right? But I like with my spouse, I feel like that's a learning process, right? You learn each other as you go. And it gets to a point where it's like even some mistakes that you like your spouse makes, you can't be making this mistake. I've been with you for like 20 years and
Understandable.
like what you understand? But when it comes to family, I feel as if, especially families and friends, some mistakes there's just no coming back from, because it, to me personally, it feels like a sense of betrayal. That's what it feels like. It feels like betrayal, because it's like, as my family, as my friend, why would you do this? Right? And as I keep saying, it's a different type of loyalty that I do expect from friends and family compared to like my spouse.
Like that. Okay.
You was gonna say something.
Yeah, man. Say something, man.
I would actually like to elaborate on that too, because some people don't realize that there is a difference between like family and your spouse. And there's a verse in the Bible that says, when you marry, you come out from your mom and dad and you go to be with your spouse.
Yes.
That just goes to show how important your spouse is compared to mom and dad. Like, I know your mom and dad raised you and birthed you, but with your spouse, you're going to become one with that person, one flesh, one body, one mind, one spirit. You're about to enter into a covenant with God.
Yes.
You are about to be the reason the next generation comes about, and the responsibility you have with said spouse is going to be higher than anything you've had being under your parents.
Quick question. So how do y'all go about like a situation, let's say your spouse and your family don't like each other?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Let's
not
start
gonna
with
lie.
that.
We keeping it a buck. If we keeping it a buck, you know my family. I think y'all all seen my pops. He do not sugarcoat nothing. I feel like they couldn't have, like, one of them would just, like, my family would just have to shut up about it, cause if this is the girl I choose, that's not on y'all. Y'all job is to like her. If y'all see a red flag, y'all tell me, but it's not on you to be like, this not the person for you. You can't date, because at the end of the day, life is about you making your own choices. If that is a mistake, you making your own mistakes and you learning from it. You can't sit here and tell me I brought a girl home, or yeah, she dressed too yellow. I don't like that color. What? Like, what are you talking about? And my friend right here is a testament to that. he can bring a girl home and mom could be like, nah, I'm not jacking it.
Right.
And he could ask her why. I just don't like something about her.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't ask why. Cause not to be rude, I don't care. Like at the end of the day, and I love my mom, so I hope I don't sound disrespectful when I say this. My mother's not dating her. I am.
That's true.
So at the end of the day, as I said, I take heed. I do listen, right? Because one thing I was saying is that's why I have a lot of female friends. Because I'm not gonna lie, having a lot of female friends, you start to realize how they think
Bro.
sometimes, and they start telling you stuff. And
Shout
you
out
like,
to the female friends, bro.
shout out to all my
Giving
homies.
you
I love y'all. Oh my
the
god, I love
nice
y'all.
details.
But
Real.
they start to tell you certain things, and they try to tell you like how they think, and then when you sit there and you realize that you like, and then once you come to that realization, I feel like you operate differently because you know how to deal with certain situations, right?
Of course.
So as I said, when it comes to especially my mom, I will take heed and listen to what she says, right? But you ain't just about to tell me you don't like the girl.
Are you talking from past experience?
Half and half.
Half and half.
You gonna put me on the spot like that? Yeah. Like I've been in a situation like that with my mom, and she generally didn't like the girl. But I would say it was also the reason why I say it was half and half because the girl wasn't right for me, right? And I was stubborn in my ways, but it was also the way my mom went about it. So it was in the way she went about it. It caused my rebelliousness to like sprout, and even knowing the girl wasn't right for me, I'm staying this way because of the way you went about it. So I think also it's a matter of how you go about it. Like even because we're all somebody's friends. Even as a friend, you got to think about how you go about telling your friends how if you like feel a way about something or I'm not gonna lie, so and so hey. Right? You just tell them that information and however they choose to move on it, they move on it. Because I've come to the realization that sometimes some people gotta learn. The best saying that was ever made, what? Those who don't hear does feel. And sometimes you just gotta feel like, hey, and that's how it has to be.
It is.
So if it has to be like that, it's gonna have to be like that.
And to jump onto that, I'm talking about parents now. Y'all went through a process, y'all went through the roads before, but give us room to experience. It's you are entitled to your opinion, and I'm not saying no, because everyone's entitled. You can advise me. It's my decision if I want to take heed or not. At the end of the day,
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but you can also keep your opinion to yourself.
Facts.
okay.
Respectfully.
But remember, you can't stop a parent from being a parent,
That's true.
right? You can't stop a parent. A parent will always be a parent at the end of the day. And the only reason why a lot of us would disagree, we're not parents ourselves. We don't know the mentality they have.
Correct.
So
It's a responsibility.
I must say, yes, you all are entitled. You can advise, but let us grow. Let us stop. And be honest, do you guys feel that sometimes you're being stifled?
Well, hello. We are so glad to come to you this evening and to give you a special invitation to Kingdom Life Ministry, 770 Park Place, right here in Brooklyn, New York. I'm Bishop Vaden Grant. Here with me is my lovely family, Benjamin, JL, Joseph, and we've been enjoying the presence of God here with Dr. Peter Bonady, our senior pastor. This church is a remarkable church. If you need a place to find God, to find praise, to find prayer, to be a part of a family that is growing and developing, a family that is focused on productivity and excellence, you have found the right church at the right time. This is Kingdom Life Ministries, exciting ministry, modern ministry that touches every area, every aspect of your life. So here am I inviting you to come and join with us on Sunday morning. We begin at 10 o'clock sharp, amen, with a powerful worship, and then with the Word of God coming tremendously through our pastor and through the other ministries that are in the church. God bless you. Make your blessing is our constant prayer. Come, see us experience Kingdom Life in Brooklyn, New York.
in the sense of certain things, like not allowing to get your own experience in.
Yeah, and I feel like that, like we as men, we gonna die like on our pride, like
He was like,
no. Like we gon' like you gonna tell me I can't do something? I bet I'm gonna show you I can do it. Like, and a lot of the times with us, like being Caribbean men,
oh boy,
going through it with our Caribbean parents, they gonna tell you, no, I know what's best for you, and you gonna be like,
Bro,
nah,
I had a dream.
bro, I had a dream, and you gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna still go.
I dreamed something.
Yeah, and I'm gonna still go. Like we always gonna be, we always gonna try to prove our parents wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can know it's wrong. Like as you said, like that's not the person for you. That's not the thing to do.
But you wanna see it out
It's just
just
how they
because.
say it. Like
yeah.
It's how you go about. It's
yeah.
really how.
It's like
really
you
how
going
go
against
about
me.
it.
You don't
Yeah.
think
Tone
so.
of
No, I'm gonna
voice
show you. Like,
I'm gonna show you
yo,
I could do that.
Because
yeah.
if it was a situation like comes to me like, oh, I don't think, but if that's the decision, I respect it. Because that's what I'm not gonna lie, I told my homegirl she was dealing with this guy, and I'm like, he's playing in your face,
Right.
and like I kept telling her that, and I came to a point where it's like, I'm not. Hey, if you just want to talk to me about the situation, by all means, but I'm not. You're not gonna keep asking me, and
The
I'm
same
giving you
question.
solutions.
And you're not.
Right, and I don't
Oh
want,
my
and I don't
gosh.
want to be rude and tell you what you can and can't do. So in that situation, I told her straight up, I was like, "Look, he's playing in your face, and I'm not gonna lie to you. If you want to continue to do so, just know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
You're gonna be sitting there crying, and as your friend, I'm still gonna be here for you.
Yeah.
No disrespect. She was sitting there crying as a friend. I was there for her.
It also gets to a point where it's like, yeah, we're gonna tell ourselves like, bro, we're getting too old for this. Why can't we convey our opinions, or for better, or for this conversation, why can't parents convey their opinions to their children without being so demeaning, disrespectful?
Because parents believe they can't be wrong. It's that
Narcissism.
simple.
It's a
They can't-
thing where I believe in generational gap, and the mentality back then. And you got to remember, I call it also a generational domino effect, where from what they learned when they were younger, and as time progresses, you always pick up on something that you learn, and then it jumps out. You see it happening, especially in Caribbean households.
But also, I feel like
Oh man, yeah.
from like I don't know how old your parents are, but like my point is when I say this, it's not even a matter of just time. From like for example, my mom's from Trinidad. From going to Trinidad.
Shout out Trinidad and Tobago.
From Trinidad compared to America is just two different places. So it's not even a matter of time.
It's about
It's just
place.
how you would go about things in Trinidad. You can't go about that the same way in America. And I think like especially with Caribbean parents, I think that lack of understanding that America is not Trinidad and things don't work the same way is where that fallout comes in.
I'm an example. I'm a living testament. I'm just saying.
All
Let
right.
me add on to that real quick. Like you know my little brother. My little brother will do something dumb, and my pops will tell him. But you're not telling him in a way he gonna understand. Like a lot of the times, parents think like me yelling at you is me telling you, oh, like you're gonna understand. But a lot of times they gotta realize like knowing your relationship y'all have, you gotta know how to talk to certain people.
Yes.
And I feel like that's just a thing we gotta understand. Like when I talk to my little brother about something he do, I be like, yo, do you realize why what you did was not the right thing to do? And sometimes he'll be like, no. And then I'll explain it to him. He'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's just not how our parents were. So I understand that gap. And I try to be that for my little brother.
All right, yo. Oh man, that was like episode 2 all over again. But let's go. To wrap up, how about what sort of like advice would you like give to people about like relationship, like keeping God in it and your boundaries of faith? For me, there was that verse that I showed you guys, because at the end of the day, it's like at the end of the day, the relationship, it all comes down to like love, right? And it's like the verse I showed you guys, it was from John, where he said, no one see God at any time, but to paraphrase, if we love another, God abides in us, and such and such. So it basically was saying that God, we when we love each other, we show them God pretty much. So that was saying, if you want to really like show people God, we want to have to like love them the way God intended, reading the word, connecting how God wants us to connect, and yeah. Anybody else have any like advice?
Um, an advice I would give, like to keep relationships like centered around God, you have to have a foundation before anything.
Right.
Because once you have a solid foundation and God is that foundation in the relationship, whether it be friends, spouse, whatever it is, once you keep God as the foundation,
Yeah.
you'll have a blueprint and you'll be able to put in like, furniture. You're able to put in curtains, able to put in
Furniture.
a bed,
Nice.
and stuff like that.
Gonna catch
Shut
something
up.
in here, boy. What about you?
Sorry.
Hold on, y'all. He's catching some. He's catching some.
Oh, I like that.
I feel like to advice I would give for people to keep God in the center is just understanding intention. As we talked about in the beginning, like if you communicate your intention to somebody and they communicate it back to you, and you find one of those things, like your intention with somebody could be not godlike, and their intention with you cannot be godlike, and you have to realize, okay, is this godlike? Yes. No. All right. How can I fix this? If I can't fix this, this is not the relationship for me. I shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be as close.
Well, to start off, I personally believe that once you're situated in your faith, in your life, in your walk with Christ, I feel like everything else comes after. I'm not saying it comes smoothly, but it works itself out in the sense of if I'm, we're not always gonna be perfect, but if I'm situated in my faith in Christ, in my walk, and I don't understand how I want to walk on my pathway, I'm gonna find what I need to find, right?
Seek
And
you
then when it
first.
comes to like keeping God in a relationship, if I'm on my pathway and God is in myself, like not in myself, but in my way of life, because that's another thing I believe, a different topic, but I believe as Christians, believing in God should be a way of life, not a religion. I don't like to consider Christianity a religion. I would like to believe it should be a way
It's a
of
lifestyle.
life. Right? But that aside, if I live my life this way, in a specific way, when the right person comes for me, and they also live their life in this specific way, any of the problems that we should have going on, that's things that we together would take up and take together to Christ, and we would figure out. But I don't believe in like trying to figure out your relationship with Christ and how it fits in with this person. You have your relationship with Christ, I have my relationship. Because it's like in a sense, like I might like to pray in the car, right? She might like to pray in the closet. Cool, no problem, right? Our relationships with Christ and how we do things is differently. Like at the end of the day, the church is the best example. We all go home different ways. We all have a different way we live outside of church. But when we come to church, it's not entirely different, but it's a more of a unit. It's a more of a union of
When
how
2
we
and 3
operate.
agree.
Exactly. So I just want to like just to wrap what I'm saying up real quick. I just believe I believe once you live in your truth and how you're supposed to live, everything else falls into place afterwards. Not smoothly, but it still falls into place instead of trying to fit everything in.
Okay, all right, y'all. We hardly even.
Wow.
Did you not say yours?
I didn't say nothing.
Wow.
No.
Go ahead. Real brief. Go
All
ahead.
right, real quick.
Real quick.
Stop worrying about your other people's path. Your path with God is special. Everyone's relationship is different. Remember, God is the source of love. So build a relationship with God and stop trying to fit a picture, a narrative. It should be real. Your relationship with God should be real.
Amen.
However you approach God, remember, God is not moved by all those gimmicks or whatnot. God is moved by the heart of man. So when you're dealing with God, go to God in a way that you're comfortable with. Comfort, that's another thing. Be comfortable in going to God in your way. God answers to you in your style, the way you understand, he doesn't do it to, let's say, I'm going to God. He won't answer in Benjamin style or Johansi style, my style. So always remember, God is the blueprint. God is the standard of love. Remember also, if you love yourself, you will know how to love others, and for that, you have to know how to love God. You have to know what love looks like. For you to, I always tell people, you are a reflection of your environment. So how the world treats you, or how you treat the world, is how you treat yourself. So always remember, put God in the center of things. Don't worry about the things you can't control. Control the controllable. Work on things that you could fix, and God will handle the rest.
All right, amen. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, y'all. But we are out of time today. Thanks for coming to
So
another
sad,
episode.
so sad.
So sad. This is the one that has something to do, by the way.
Don't say that.
Right,
My
right.
bosses might be watching, right?
Hey.
Understand? Anyway.
I didn't say nothing.
All right.
So this was why you was late.
That's crazy.
No, I had an accident.
For all intents and purposes, this guy had an accident and he's not here right now.
All
okay?
right.
So,
But I encourage you to tune in still, you know?
yeah. Well, you said. Thank you
All
guys. Until next time, have a good one.
Like, share, subscribe.
Tell us
All
what
them.
you think in the comments as well. We want
Yeah.
to keep the conversation
Reach
flowing.
out. If you want to
Yeah.
be a part of this, you're free to do so. Email, there's an email, right?
There's an
Shout
email.
out to
There's a
my
lot of stuff.
girlfriend.
Right?
There's a lot of stuff. I
And
can't.
come to Kingdom Life.
Any shout outs? Any shout outs?
Any shout outs? We're good,
Don't do it.
actually. Wrapping
sure?
this up.
Ben, don't do it.
Shout out to
my
all the
homies.
shout out to all the relationships in our life.
Shout out to
all
my
the people that
homies.
we
Shout out
love,
to
to
my
our friends and
friends.
family.
That's a crazy
Hey,
statement.
No,
Shout
no,
out
no,
to-
no, 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 no,
You
no.
gotta
Shout
be
out to
specific.
My
everybody
relationships
that
and
we
there's
love.
good ones.
Shout out to
Shout out-
all the relationships in my life. That's a crazy statement.
We love
Yeah.
everybody though.
You don't have
Right.
You know,
Nobody to
we
shout
love
out.
everybody. Yeah, that's okay. We're getting off track. Let's wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, comment. We'll see you on the next episode of Breaking the
770 Park
Silence.
Place. You can come every Sunday.
Let's go. Let's go.
I gotta go.
Let's cut it.
Shout out to Moms.
Shout out to mine.
Shout out to my option.